Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about how to set up a web server on your own computer. This means you can host a website from your own computer, but this will be a local website, which means that only you can see it for now. This is pretty good for learning how to program or learning CSS, HTML, JavaScript, things like that. And it's also good if you have a live website and you want to work on a local copy without having changes made to the live copy. So to start, basically what you'll do is you'll Google WAMP if you're on Windows, LAMP if you're on Linux, and MAMP if you're on Mac. Obviously that letter changes, the first letter changes depending on what operating system you're using. So for me it's WAMP, so all I did was just Google WAMP, and it's the third one down from SourceForge. So you just hit download, your copy will download, it'll be in your downloads folder. And I've actually already installed it. But basically what you'll do, let's see. My downloads are right here. And downloaded a couple times, looks like. So just double click one of those and run it. And to install it, you'll just click next, 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 all the way through. There'll be one option for picking a browser. It'll say which browser do you want to use for this, and by default it's in the folder where explorer.exe is. That's fine, you can just use that. And I also clicked the checkbox that said put an icon on my desktop. It's also not necessarily needed. So once it's there and installed, you just double click it to run. And you'll see down here in the bottom right, it'll be booting up. Now it'll be red at first, then it'll turn orange, and then finally it'll turn green. So to access your website, all you have to do is type localhost here in your browser. Now for me, the first time there was an error that said I didn't have permission to access this folder. Basically all I did to remedy that was right click this, or rather click it, and I hit put online. Right now it says offline because I hit online a second ago. And if that doesn't work, usually restart all services does. But for me, I just clicked put online, so I clicked it once, and then I was able to go to it. So this is your index of your first website. So to get to it, all you really have to do is go to computer, local disk here, and go to WAMP. There's a folder right there called WAMP. And in www, there is your site. I've set up a folder already called chris-site, but what we're looking at right now is index. And now that I've created something called chris-site, you can see right here, it'll say your projects. So I'll click that, and there's nothing there, all the broken images and such. So to make our first site, I have Dreamweaver pulled up here. And you can do this in Notepad or pretty much anything, any kind of text editor. So I can make a new file here, and I'll call it, I'll just do the default settings here, hit create. And this is untitled-1. So I'll go to code, and this is how it looks by default. And we'll save this in the same location. WAMP, www, chris-site. And whenever we go to any of these sites, index.html or index.php is the first page it will load by default. So I'm going to call this one index.html and save that. So basically, whenever we go to our website now, this will be the first thing that pops up. So we'll go back to our index, refresh that, and we see a blank page here. And all we have to do to add information to that is type in something like P. P is the HTML tag for paragraph, and say hello world. And then /P is what ends tags. And I'm hitting Control S to save, or you can just go to File and save. And if we go back to this page again and refresh it, it says hello world. Also, you'll know the top here says untitled document. So all you have to do is edit everything in between here to change that. I'm hitting Control S again for save, and then refresh. And at the top you see it says demo. So you can replace this with any other kind of HTML. You can Google anything online, like basic web page, and learn HTML tags. I think there's one for strong, which is basically the HTML way of bolding things. Control S again for save. refresh, and yeah, it's bolded. And you can mess with all these different types of tags. Eventually I'll show you guys how to add CSS to it, how to add a database, but for now that's the extent that this video will go. So you have your basic website set up now. You can access just by typing localhost from any browser and visiting your project folder. As usual, if there's anything in this video, if I've gone too fast, sometimes I go too fast, just let me know if I've skipped anything or if you've come across any errors that were unforeseen or I didn't cover. And if there's anything else you want me to cover besides what I've said I'm going to cover in my next few videos, put a comment below this video, and I read pretty much every single one of them, because so far there's not many people watching these. So I'll read all the comments, and I will create videos for anybody who wants to mess around with any of these projects or has any ideas of demos and stuff like that they want to set up. So be sure to let me know, and then I'll start working on these next videos. My next one will be on designing a first web page, going through different HTML tags, and then maybe a little bit of CSS to show how to style everything. Eventually we'll get to databases, but that's a couple steps ahead. So anyway, stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time.